Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast, featuring Commissioner Christine King, where all voices are heard.
Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast, where all voices are heard. Today, my guest is Miss Lesline Anglade Dorleans. Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me. Such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you.
Stop it. You know you're my friend. Miss Anglade Dorleans is
Well, if we're friends.
We are, but I still have to introduce you.
I know.
Miss Anglade Dorleans is the Director of Child Protection with the Department of Children and Families. And you've been with the Department of Children and Families for more than 20 years, correct?
Yes, I've been with Department of Children and Families 21 years. Here in Florida, 21 years. 1 year in Georgia, I worked for DFACS. So all in the area of child welfare and child protection.
That's fantastic. And when did we meet?
We met in law school, 2003.
Yes.
Yes, 2003.
Yes, I believe it was 2003.
2003.
And you were working for the department at the time.
Yes, because we were both part-time night students, evening students, and I was working as a child protective investigator during the day and going to law school at night. Yep.
And during our whole tenure while we were in school, I got a big education on child protection services and what to do about keeping children safe, how we can do our part in keeping children safe. And it's the summer now, and children aren't in school. Can you give us some tips on how we can help keep our children safe now that they're not in school?
Definitely. There's always things that you can do. Anybody, neighbors, family members, they can do things. The best thing for children to be in is in the school atmosphere, daycares, camps, things of that nature. But really making sure that children are safe in their environment, whatever that is, making sure they're heard, making sure that they have someone that they can talk to, especially if they're not in a school setting. They should be able to go to someone to have a conversation or just to see how things are going. I know that the county has funding and they have different programs where they're feeding children breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the summers because children are not in that educational setting. Especially in the summer, it even heightens the risk for children for abuse and neglect. One thing is child safety when it comes to safe swimming and, pool safety. That is our number one risk factor when we have children that are drowning. And so we have really made progress in trying to purchase, life vests for children, handing them out at different fairs and different events so that way they're safe swimming. I know there are a lot of different programs around the county and around the city that provides free swimming lessons for children, but in the summer, that swimming and drowning, of course, heightens the risk for them.
How could I learn more about, for example, the life vest? Life vest, because in District 5, all of our pools are open for the summer. I'm very proud to say that every single pool in District 5 is open because we are experiencing otherworldly heat now,
Yes,
correct?
Definitely.
And that is a way to keep our children safe and cool.
Of course.
Cool them down in the
Of
summer.
course.
We are having swim lessons. We have lifeguards at every one of our city pools. And if we could get life jackets for our kids, that would be fantastic. How could we go about doing that?
Definitely. We just were able to get funding. The department has funding for, child protection and, prevention for safe swimming and stuff. So we do have some at the department. We can definitely coordinate at one of your facilities, the pools, to maybe have a day because you want to be able to separate children who do know how to swim and those that don't know how to swim, and all of the safety measures that you have to take in place, because children, when they're in the pool, they're excited, they're laughing, they're yelling, and sometimes those different things you may not be able to tell, okay, is this a situation that I need to get involved in, or is this just a child having fun? But definitely we do have some at the department. I don't know if we have enough for everyone, but we have enough for different age levels as well, so we can definitely coordinate on that.
I would love that. And I understand there are 3 zip codes in Miami-Dade County that account for the highest rate of removal, and one of those zip codes falls within District 5. Do you have extra advice, additional advice for what we can do to help reduce that number?
And so what I can say, it's all about prevention. You know, by the time someone is reported or someone comes to the attention of the department, they're already in crisis. You know, at that point, now we're just trying to see what we can do to stabilize the crisis. But really, the emphasis needs to go on prevention. So it starts with little things. It could be someone that is not attending school regularly, or if it's a child that's not attending doctor's appointments regularly. It could be, the family has had a traumatic event, financial reasons, housing. It's so many different things, but the best key, what I can say, is prevention. And the department has, with our community-based care, has implemented so many different opportunities so we can prevent families being reported to the department, meaning we're reducing crisis. So really, if a child has a certain issue, how can we help that family? What can we do before it gets to the level of a removal? Because that is the most intrusive method of safety that we have. And it is the most traumatizing event that a child and a family can go through. We are also teaching our investigators and going out and doing informational fairs for professionally mandated reporters. So we're talking to law enforcement, we're talking to medical professionals, we're talking to hospitals to see what we can do as a community to keep children safe in their environment, as opposed to taking them out of their environment when a removal is necessary. But prevention is key, and we've seen the numbers. We've seen the numbers because going into the foster care system, being removed from your natural environment is a traumatic event in itself. And now you have a child that comes into the department's care, the child is away from their family, and yes, it is circumstances of abuse or neglect, but that was their normal environment.
Right.
You understand? So
that was their home.
That was their home. However, whatever way you look at it, that was their home. And so now you're moving them to a new home. So that's another level of trauma. So really, prevention is key. Making sure that, families have the tools and resources needed to protect their children, to nurture their children appropriately. It's all about prevention. And we've really taken a deep dive into those top 3 zip codes to see what are the factors that are contributing to those high removal rates. Is it, poverty? Is it, that though these are children attending schools that are not maybe appropriately funded? We're looking at all different circumstances to see what we can do to intervene, but the best thing is to educate the community.
It sounds like what I'm hearing also is that we should know our neighbors.
Definitely.
We should know our neighbors. We should take the time to get to know our neighbors, because then we can identify if something is amiss and say, hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Do you need some help?
Yeah.
And I'm a big proponent of community policing.
Of course.
Where our officers, particularly in the city of Miami and D5, our officers are big on community policing, getting to know the residents versus arresting people.
Yes.
This is a holistic approach to service and action from my team. This is what we're trying to do. My district office team, we're getting to know the community, the residents. So I hope that they feel like if there's a problem, they can reach out to me, because that's the message that we're giving. But we're trying to get our community back together. Know your neighbor. Implement Crime Watch.
Definitely. And really, it's all, while you're doing that, also getting to know those grassroots community agencies that provide services. Rather they would go to a company or an agency that provides, parenting, you understand? And with people who have lived experiences. I know a lot of agencies that some families that have gone through the child welfare system are now hiring, those with lived experience to provide an insight to those that are maybe going through similar trauma. Also, while you're doing that with, community policing, it's really about making sure that everyone is aware. And, our families come from many different backgrounds, but really we live and pride ourselves on, it takes a village to raise a child. You understand?
That is
It
true.
takes a village to raise a child. It is not a mother and father's only thing. It is the grandparents, the aunts, every extended family, good friends, but giving families resources.
Right.
You understand? At least, because it takes a lot. If someone is going through a traumatic experience, especially if it's financial or something like that, it's hard for them to ask for help. It's really hard to ask for help or to make themselves vulnerable enough to say, I need help.
It's true.
And go ahead.
It's true, and that's a perfect segue. And I just want to say for the record, because I'm sure our audience is wondering, because I didn't list the zip codes. It's 33142, 33147, and 33055
Yes.
are the top 3 zip codes in Miami-Dade, and one in the city of Miami that is vulnerable for at-risk children, child abuse, removal, and we'd like to bring those numbers down to 0.
Yes.
We'd like to
Yes.
bring those numbers down. But you mentioned getting services. For example, there's a lot of food insecurity for families in District 5. And for our part, we do farm shares. Every week, we have a farm share to supplement what families are able to do with the allocation that they have
Of
for
course,
food.
of course.
And I also fund nonprofit organizations that are feeding our community. But as a great segue, you are also the chair of the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust.
Yes,
Which
yes.
is one such organization that is charged with getting resources to our community,
Yes.
particularly in the Little Haiti community. What would you like to say about that, your position as chair?
It's an honor, to be the chair of the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust. The intent of that trust is really to make sure that we stabilize the crisis when it comes to housing, when it comes to small businesses, and really getting information out to the community and providing funding and resources. We just had our meeting last night, and this will be my 1-year anniversary in August since I've been chair on the board. And by September 1st, we will have our first grant application out in the community for small businesses to be able to be provided with funding for either commercial or any type of repairs they would need for their businesses. Our next portion that we would like to get out is really to deal with the housing crisis and for first-time home buyers and for rehabilitation programs. So we are definitely setting our mark. We're definitely beyond, getting prepared, but we are so excited that our first application is out. And really, it allows us, we're in the process of entering into a contract with FIU for a needs assessment and a strategic playbook for to make sure we understand how we need to engage the community and leverage the community and the resources that the trust has. So it's really exciting times for the trust. We just, May was Haitian Heritage Month. A lot of events took place, but we are just so excited. And the amount of community constituents that have come out to the meetings, they've given us everything. They've given us the good, the bad, and the ugly. They want to be able to assist us, but I feel that from last year to this year, we've made so much progress with the trust, and I'm just so excited to see where we're going in the future. So,
Me too. And that is such a vibrant community.
yes.
I am looking forward to continuing my relationship as the commissioner for Little Haiti and the chair of the city of Miami. I know you mentioned May was Haitian Heritage Month, and we did a lot of programming
Yes.
for that month. It was a wonderful time. We had health fairs, we had informational sessions, we even had painting with a twist
Yes,
for the
yes.
community. It was fantastic. We celebrated Haitian Heritage Month in a big way.
I think so. I mean,
In a big way.
a very big way. Just like Haitian people would like. You know, they love to be, you know, they're very prideful. We are a very prideful community, but I mean, it was absolutely great. Thank you to the city and the county for all of the assistance, but really, truly, I'm so excited to see where we're going. And last night at the meeting, one of the CBOs was able to say that they were able to train, I believe, if I recall, she said 75 to 100 people for resumes so that way they can apply for jobs. And that was with the assistance of the trust and the city. So we are just very excited, and we love to hear those stories, because if we can have a moment of impact with just one family or one constituent, then we've done something right.
I agree. And my next project is to bring Miami Carnival back.
Wow.
Yes,
That'd be amazing.
it's Miami Carnival in Little Haiti.
I think we're ready.
So I'm working on that. And I'm looking forward. You know, Wyclef and I, we were talking about it, and I've spoken to some stakeholders in the community.
Yeah.
And I look forward to having that come back to our community.
I think it's a perfect opportunity, especially at this point with Miami. I think even with the trust, with the Little Haiti Trust and everything that you're doing for our community, it's absolutely perfect. I know that Carnival hasn't been here for a very long time, and so I think it just, you know, it reinvigorates the community and shows that we're ready to have it back.
I agree. Now, we've come to is there anything else you would like to say?
I could say so much.
You should probably say hi to Gabby.
Oh, let me say hi to Gabby. Gabby is my daughter. Hi, Gabby. Mommy loves you so much. I'm here with your Auntie Christine. And if I don't say hi to my mom, that'll probably be a problem, right?
That would be a problem
hi,
as
Mom.
well. That would be a problem as well. My mom watches every episode, and she critiques the episodes as well.
Oh, then
But
I should
that.
get ready. I should get ready, huh?
She's going to say, oh, Lesline was perfect. I have a segment of this podcast where I ask you a series of questions, and you just have to answer.
Okay.
It's called the Spitfire.
Okay.
The first question is...
I should have been prepared. I watched all the podcasts already.
Right, you should be
I
prepared.
didn't do my homework. Though.
Okay, that's best
All right,
though, because
yeah.
it's spontaneous. What is the most dangerous thing you do?
Like every day? The most dangerous thing I do? I think just taking risk. I mean, not a certain thing that I do every day, but, oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
I can answer it.
Oh,
for
go
you.
ahead and answer it then.
For you though,
Yeah.
the most dangerous thing you do is keeping children safe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely. But I don't see that as a danger. I see that as a privilege. So that's why I didn't think of it like that. Really, because it's a privilege. It's a privilege to serve the community. I consider myself to be a public servant. So I would have never, while, you know, they're at-risk children, I wouldn't have equated it to danger. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's a great answer, but that's a great answer. So we have to come back to
Okay.
what's the most dangerous thing you do.
I'm still thinking.
Do you have a theme song?
A theme song. Of course, it would be a Haitian song. And it's Are You Ready? By a band that's no longer in existence, but it's a band called Kaimi, and it's a theme song, Are You Ready?
And that's how.
That's it, Are You
ready?
Ready? Yeah,
But
yeah.
they don't say "Are you ready" in English, do you?
No,
do they?
yeah, it's
Oh, they
Are
do?
You Ready? Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
play it for you.
Okay. What's your favorite book?
So I've been on this leadership challenge recently, just trying to look inward and see how I can professionally grow. And with my team that I have, we've been on this journey for the next level. So I have to say the 5 dysfunctions of a team.
The 5 dysfunctions of a team?
Yeah.
Well, I should maybe get my team to read that. The 5 dysfunctions of a team. I love my team.
No, I know.
I love my team.
You have a great team. You have a great team.
We are family.
Yeah. But it really allows you to think kind of outside the box. And because, you're in the hustle of, everyday life, and especially in the position that you're in. But, taking time to see, is there an area of opportunity? And I never call it like an area, like a weakness. I say area of opportunity because you always have something that you can work on to improve.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. There's always room for improvement.
Definitely.
The 5 areas of...
The 5 dysfunctions of a team.
The 5 dysfunctions of a team.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
going
to bring you a copy.
Please, because maybe I will make that our reading assignment for August, because we're in
Your
recess.
team's not going to be happy with me now. I'm giving assignments out.
They won't know. They won't know.
They'll definitely know.
Okay. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would you choose to have dinner with?
That's so hard. That's so hard. So I'm going to choose 2 because I get to. Okay, I'm going to choose 2.
Okay.
I'm going to choose 2. So alive, it has to be like Oprah or Michelle Obama. I mean, who would not want to have dinner with them? The impact that they've made.
I didn't pick them.
You didn't pick them? I'm sorry. Okay.
I would love to have dinner
I
with
would.
them, but I didn't pick them. It's if I had to choose one person, dead or
Who
alive,
would you choose?
I chose my grandmother,
Well, I was going to say I choose my dad.
and she's passed on.
Yeah, I was going to choose my dad. But that's why I said I wanted 2 choices.
You can't have
Alive, yes, you can.
No,
you can have
dead
2.
or alive.
It could be
One
and
or the other.
It could be and or. This is
Counselor?
exactly what we did in law school.
Yes, okay. So it would
No,
be your
but
dad?
It would be my dad. My dad passed 2 years ago. Just one more dinner.
Right.
One more.
Right. Okay. And the last question would be, if you could give your 18-year-old self advice, what would you tell yourself?
Start now. Don't wait. Start now. Don't wait. You have your whole life to live. Whatever you want to accomplish, start now. Start now. That would be my advice. Start now.
That's good advice. And I think almost everyone has said the same thing, like,
Yeah.
do it now, or don't be afraid, you've got
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Because, as what it is if you have that opportunity, you would always try to make sure everything that you went through, you'd have like a playbook at this point. Okay, well, we're going back, we're going to do this, this, and this. But you have to live life in its, to its fullest, and you have to live life in the present. You can't think back or have regrets. I just think that, there were maybe missed opportunities, but no regrets. Like, you are going through, and you and I have had this conversation. You meet people for a purpose at the right time for the reason, right? And it's the same thing. Whatever experience that you went through, it's for a purpose at the right time at that moment. It should have been nothing different but that. So
I agree. I don't have any regrets.
No.
I could have been a little more focused.
Yeah.
But if I was, I may not be sitting here today.
Of course, it could have had a different trajectory.
Right.
And I think, our life we have our destiny, and I think it happened exactly the way it should have happened. And it's happening the way it should happen, so definitely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look forward to continuing to serve with you.
Okay.
I'm so excited that you're the chair of the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust.
Thank you.
And your colleagues are amazing.
Yes.
Thank you. They're so full of knowledge.
Of course. We definitely have a great board. With all of them, we all bring a different piece to the table, and I think it makes us who we are. But the board is such in a good position to continue the progress with the trust. So we're so thankful for the opportunity.
Well, thank you. And thank you for being a part of my podcast, where you can listen on all of the podcast platforms, and you could also watch the podcast on the City of Miami's YouTube channel. Thank you again for coming. That's it, guys. That's a wrap for the Kingdom Podcast, where all voices are heard. Thank you.